Today, the United States commands an estimated valuation of $180 trillion, making it the wealthiest empire in human history. Much of this modern wealth is not driven by productive expansion. Instead, it is frequently parked in static assets governed by artificial scarcity. The ultra-wealthy often treat real estate as a passive investment. In New York, a single finance executive spent $240 million on this high-altitude hollow brick, a building that sits half empty. Historically, kings and emperors followed a similar pattern, pouring millions in state funding into luxury estates designed to house family or demonstrate personal status. Global dominance has historically relied on a different strategy, redirecting that capital away from static displays and into high-risk, continent-spanning gambles. In 1803, the United States was not a global power. It was an untested, uncharted frontier. The government originally approached France simply looking to buy a tiny sliver of land to secure a port. Napoleon countered with a much larger proposition. He offered to sell the entire Louisiana territory to the United States for $15 million. This map shows the immediate impact of that transaction. By acquiring this central territory, the nation instantly doubled its physical size. The cost efficiency was staggering. Securing these borders, stretching from the Gulf to the Canadian line, amounted to roughly 4 cents per acre. Unlike a modern parking lot that might cost billions today, this raw land acted as a catalyst. It provided the physical space and resources necessary to build an industrial empire. By the mid-20th century, that territory required a massive upgrade. Millions of acres are only as valuable as the infrastructure that connects them to the global market. The U.S. interstate highway system became the most expensive mega project in human history, costing an inflation-adjusted $634 billion to build. The data shows a massive return on that investment. For every single dollar spent on construction, the highway system yielded $6 in economic output. Modern vanity projects rarely see such returns. Saudi Arabia's 110-mile mirrored city is currently carving a line through the desert, with costs spiraling toward $8.8 trillion, despite lacking clear utility. The highway system succeeded because it addressed a specific problem with a functional plan. It proved that a superpower's infrastructure must work as an economic engine, not just a monument. The expansion of the state relied on physical connections, but its survival depended on the endurance of the federal government through internal and external violence. During the American Civil War, the financial strain was so extreme that the government had to invent paper money and the federal income tax to maintain the war effort. Decades later, World War II forced a total mobilization of the nation's wealth, becoming the most expensive conflict in human history. At the war's height, the U.S. dedicated the majority of its total economy to manufacturing destruction, pushing military spending to $25 trillion in today's dollars. The human and structural costs were incalculable. 70 million people were dead, and the economies of competing international powers were left in complete ruin. By the end of the conflict, the American economy had become the primary engine of global production, effectively outspending and outproducing every other nation on Earth. Having fully connected a sprawling continent, the focus of large-scale investment has now shifted toward the next hostile frontier. The International Space Station remains the most expensive single object ever built by humans, serving as a permanent outpost in the vacuum of space. Beyond massive structures, the highest price tag in existence belongs to subatomic physics, specifically the production of antimatter. Creating it requires firing particles at near light speed into a metal rod to capture microscopic debris in a vacuum. This process is so difficult that NASA estimates producing just 1 gram of antimatter would cost $62.5 trillion. Yet the wider cosmos is filled with resources that require no manufacturing. There are suns composed of valuable gas and asteroids containing quintillions in gold and platinum. The trajectory of American wealth, moving from 4-cent an acre land deals to $60 trillion subatomic particles, suggests that the most significant returns on investment now lie beyond the planet's borders.